Hey everyone, I'm Fred Ranger and I hope you're doing good. In this video, the sun is back here in Montreal, so it gives us a very good mood and you should be going out and shoot. This is exactly what I did. I did a video shoot actually for a barbershop in my neighborhood and I think it's gonna be very, very cool. But today I wanna answer some of your questions that you guys are sending me through the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the interaction. The subscriber count has grown so much in the past couple months. We're now, I think, at 3,600 people on this channel. So again, I want to thank you so much for following, for asking questions. And today I want to take some of the questions that I got in the comments because I think they could actually be helpful for other followers or other subscribers to this channel, or anyone on YouTube who's trying to get more information about Fujifilm, Sony, and all the gear that we use to tell our stories in this day and age. So the first question I have, and this is a question that is coming from our friend called Rail Pressure Flip, and his question was the following: can the Weebill Lab handle the weight of the X H1? I'm thinking about buying it. Have you been happy with it? So absolutely, man. I've purchased the Weebill Lab, and this is, I think, the best gimbal, at least for my needs, because I travel a lot and I don't want to be, carrying around a Crane 2 or something very, very big. So this is the perfect weight and the perfect size for me to travel. And it helps when you have a camera that is not super heavy. So this is the X-T3 and I did an entire video shoot. It should be coming out fairly shortly, but I did an entire video shoot with the Fujifilm X-T3 and the 16mm f1.4 on the Zhiyun Weebill Lab, and it was the perfect, it was a dream match. I tried using my Sony A7iii and the 35 Zeiss, and that was too heavy for the gimbal. So I'm looking forward to using it with the 24mm. I think that one is way under the payload. I think the payload is 7 pounds. So if you have a heavier setup than that, then you'll have to upgrade to the Crane 2. But for smaller setup like the Fuji cameras, the X H1, with the 16mm, with the 10 to 24, with the 56, it'll all work perfectly. So that was the first question. I hope I answered your question. And if you have any more questions about the Zhiyun Crane or the Zhiyun Weebill Lab, you can ask them down below. Second question coming from our friend called Will You Are, and his question was: hey Fred, thanks for the great video. I am now subbed. Thank you so much for your subscription, and I hope to see more stuff from you since you make sense and you are very watchable. Well, thank you so much for this great comment of being watchable. I'll keep that in mind. I noticed that in your video description, the line "the gear I use, my new stills camera," is referring to your X-T3. What happened to the X H1? I'm itching to buy a Fuji, but I have the feeling that X H2 will be released soon after, and in theory would be my perfect camera, even if they just place the X-T3 into an X H1 body. Damn, waiting is hard. Yes, waiting is hard, and that's exactly why I sold my X H1. It's not that it wasn't a great camera. It is a great camera. It's the only image or in-body image stabilized body that you can find on the Fujifilm lineup of cameras, and I really enjoyed shooting with it. Two things happened. I thought I had found the ultimate photo and video camera in that X H1, but I must admit that shooting video with it was a bit cumbersome. The results were not exactly how I wanted them to be, so I ended up re-buying the Sony A7iii. That's actually what's filming me right now. And the Sony, I learned to actually use it. At first I hated it. I had the A6500, sold it. I had the A7iii, sold it, and bought it back because again, I learned how to use it properly, and now I'm very excited about what this camera can do. So the X H1, I don't think it was there for video yet. I thought I found the ultimate hybrid camera, just one camera traveling, one lens system, but the output and the sharpness of the 120 frames per second, the actual file quality, I was not super impressed by the X H1, so I ended up selling it. Again, very good camera for stills. It's an okay camera for video, but if you want the best quality and the best autofocus, the A7 III is definitely a better choice when it comes to video only features. For photos, I'm still 100% convinced that Fujifilm is the way to go. I have the X-T3. I also kept the Fujifilm X100F, and again, I'm about to write an article about these cameras, why they're so special, in the Fuji Love magazine that's coming up in a couple weeks. So to make a long story short, ended up selling the X H1. Very, very excited about the X H2. If they can put all this stuff that we have in our X-T3s into a stabilized or an in-body stabilized sensor, man, we're in for a treat. For the X H2, why not put a flip out screen also? I mean, Sony just did it with their A6400, so I think you guys can do it, either flipping up or flipping on the side. I would prefer on the side. So Fuji, if you're listening, if you release a flip out screen, an image stabilized sensor within the body of the X H2 with all the bells and whistles and the file formats of the X-T3, I think you're gonna make a killer product, and a lot of vloggers will start buying these cameras, and cinematographers and filmmakers. So X H1, still a good camera. If you have it, please keep it, because you know I review a lot of cameras, so it's okay for me to buy and sell cameras, and also work with Fujifilm and Camera Canada to be able to get access to these products and buy my own products with my own money, but also test some of the new products that are coming out in the market. Sherwin Batiste says, good review, and that's it. Well, thank you so much. Sometimes feedback just have to be short and sweet. I love this feedback. What do we have else? While you people are still spending so much money from switching brands, I'm still enjoying my Sony A6000, very good camera. I'm still taking beautiful pictures, learning my craft, not the technical side of photography. This is coming from Lowell Bassing Dawn, and I think you are entirely entitled to use whatever camera you want to use. And this is one thing about this channel, is that as I'm communicating a lot of information about the camera brands or the camera features, this has nothing to do with the creativity and the vision you can have as a filmmaker, as a photographer. You should never let a brand stop you from taking a photo or filming a video. Like I said, I just filmed a video with my X-T3 today. I didn't even take the Sony A7 III because I thought I was a little bit more ready to use the Fujifilm ecosystem and the menus and so on. I'm still learning a lot about the Sony. So you are entirely right. When you put time and effort into learning your instrument or learning your tool to create your story, then you end up telling better stories. So you should never let gear stop you from doing what you want to do. So you're entirely right. What else? We have here a question from, let's go here. Thank you so much for the tip. Oh, the Q button. Great review. I like the camera, but I keep hitting the Q button. This was from my GFX50R. If you want to watch it, I think it's gonna show up here. If you want to watch it, I had so much fun shooting with it. I love this camera. And so MJ is asking me about the Q button and any tips on shutting it off. I didn't know how to do that, and this is the power of the community. We had Barack Uchstein, I think I'm butchering the name right now, who said go to custom function for buttons. In the menu there you can select no function for the Q button. Problem solved. And MJ said, great, thank you for the tip, much appreciated. See, that's why I really like this community that we just built. It's not just me sending you tips. As you can see, there's a lot of people more knowledgeable than me about the gear, about the technical side of things, and this is very exciting to see people responding to each other. So keep responding, keep asking questions, and if you want to see a review of the Weebill Lab that I just used for the entire day, hit that video with a thumbs up, ask anything you want to ask down below, and I've been Fred Ranger. Enjoy life, be happy, and enjoy your gear. Cheers.